So let's go ahead and move on to the realm of WWE. Okay. So recently we had our very first new era. We're getting eras out the wazoo over in WWE. The ESPN era has started with its very first PLE, Wrestlepalooza. And I have one question for you, Kendra. Was it overhyped or overhated? Because my answer is yes.
I'll just default to your answer because I only watched half of it. I never went back and watched the rest.
That's okay.
And I fear I watched the three best matches.
I would agree with that.
I watched Stephanie and Io, and I watched the mixed tag team, and then I watched Cody versus Drew, although I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Out of all three, the highlight was, for me, probably the match I was most anticipating anyway, which was Stephanie and Io. I think that was like more what I would expect for a big like PLE.
Yeah.
We got a title change, two super over stars that I love very much. Io Sky, again, we say it all the time. She's the best wrestler on the roster.
Yeah.
Period. So it's always great seeing her do anything with anyone, but Stephanie Vaquer is so also good. And just like on such a wave right now. So I'm glad that we got that moment and that Stephanie is now like a champion and will do her run. And I also really liked the mixed tag team match. I love mixed tag team matches.
Yeah, but this one was this is one of the, to me, one of the best mixed tag team matches that I've seen.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And that's exactly the type of matches you need for what you're trying to make a big show, especially when you're trying to get new viewers. These are the type of matches you need, right? And I definitely think these saved the PLE. So overall, ESPN famously now graded Wrestlepalooza and gave them a C and
which
basically said so what
crazy.
We said.
This is their product.
It's now their product, which I'm like, you know what? At least it's somewhat unbiased. Like they're being honest about their own thing.
I guess.
But it's crazy to me that they would do that. But I will say this. I do think the answer to this is yes to both. If it's overhyped and overhated. I don't think, with the exception of the Brock Lesnar, John Cena, I just think at this point in his run, in his retirement tour, I don't think he needed, I'm not normally one person to say this, I don't think he needed this squash match, which I think they might be running this back. They're saying they're not, but unless you're running this back, I don't know why you needed to have Brock squash John Cena. Didn't
I make a joke while you were streaming about how Cena's going to put over the new upstart?
Young upstart.
Yeah, there's no he doesn't need that.
Yeah, and it was a lose-lose scenario because I'm like, you're not going to I knew they weren't going to have Brock lose his first match back. I think it would have been better if it was like a full-length match. But it wasn't. It was less than 10 minutes. I was trying to figure out Streamlabs in the entirety of that match. And I when I heard the bell, I was like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? But everything else, I don't think any of the other matches were necessarily bad. Predictable, sure. I don't think predictable makes anything bad, though. The tag team match between the Usos and the Vision are still getting used to being tag team partners. So like there's that. But also... and that was one of the matches you didn't watch.
Yeah.
But the ending was a little sloppy, and that's because we had an injury, which we just kind of saw something similar happen on Friday Night SmackDown. When that happens, you kind of have to roll with it and figure it out. But Jey Uso accidentally he got hit with a chair after a chair shot he made. So, but he got busted open. His head started bleeding. So they kind of have to figure out, I don't know if that they had to change the ending or not. It seemed like I thought the Vision was going to win anyway. But I wasn't sure how much of that was kept in its original form, So like that kind of tainted that. But even that I didn't think was an awful match by any means of the word. But I definitely think once we got to Stephanie and Io, the whole night started to pick up. Because that match was incredible. The mixed tag team match was a lot of fun. And it's funny that you say that you couldn't remember a lot of the Drew and Cody match. Because while it was a good match, it was just a good match.
Yeah,
And
I
on
think
a
it
big
was
PLE, you want to, and these two guys who are capable of like classics, you know?
It was a SmackDown match.
Yeah, it was a run of the mill match. Now we did get some fun theories out of the ending, you know, with hating ass Ryan Tran getting in the way again of protecting Cody. So, and Drew took your theory that you've only ever said to me.
Guys, I promise I had well, it didn't start as a theory. It started as a hope and a wish.
Yeah.
I thought it would be really funny to get corrupt refs in WWE. It'd be a little bit difficult to do because they have like long careers that they want to keep.
Yeah.
But I think it would be really funny. I think it was the Dawn. I think it was one of his
NXT
matches, and I was like, wouldn't it be so funny if he like paid off the ref or something, or like threatened the ref, blackmailed the
See him
ref?
just pull out a wad of hundreds and
Yeah, like that would be hilarious. And then, so I've been like joking about crooked refs, and then this started happening with Ryan Tran, and I'm like, hang on a second, like once is an accident, twice is not. So I don't know. And Drew seemed to agree with me on Friday Night SmackDown this past week. And he called out the obvious corruption between Cody Rhodes and I think he said Ryan Tran specifically, or he said the refs.
I think he said the refs. He said, Ryan Tran, I forgive you because you have a family to feed.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe WWE heard my wish and
Maybe.
they're doing some corrupt stuff.
But I can understand why someone would be like, oh, that match was a little, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say it was boring, but I could understand why someone would say that.
Underwhelming, maybe.
That's what I would think.
Especially
That's what I would
because
say.
like we went so all in to like the Netflix era, which I get, it's like a huge big deal. This ESPN move just kind of feels like lateral or worse for a lot of people. Like people weren't excited for it.
Right.
But I don't know. I was expecting more like fanfare, and
that's the thing.
it also felt very like sudden.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I feel like there was another card that we were talking about, maybe Night of Champions, like something just. I remember earlier in the year, something sort of just kind of was sprung on us, and it was like it was like one of those. There's a PLE every 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and it's like one of them felt especially rushed, like nothing, you know. So this was a little bit like that, and there's a little more stakes, I guess, but there wasn't a lot of fanfare. Which again, when you're hyping up the show and you're like, oh, there's going to be, and Triple H did. This was listen. I'm not on the blame Triple H for everything train. I don't blame anyone that does, but this one was, he did a lot of press for this, especially on ESPN Sports Center and all that, saying like it's going to be a crazy night. There's going to be a lot of surprises and blah blah blah. There's rumors about another return or a debut, and it's like none of that happened.
Yeah,
and it was just very underwhelming on that front, which again, if you're hyping this up to be like a big show, like maybe some of the glitz and glamour and, you know, fun things that would happen might have helped here. Even Pat McAfee wasn't there the whole night. He was there for 3 matches and then dipped out,
which is hilarious. Yeah, it did feel a little bit, from what I watched, half of it did feel a little bit like over promised, under delivered, and also like people were so upset hearing the price that they would have to pay to view pay-per-view PLEs on ESPN going forward. This was your chance to be like, look at the level that we're able to achieve by taking all of your money through this new platform. Like, look what we're able to do with it. It wasn't for nothing. We were able to step up our game, and then they just didn't. And
here's my thing with these PLEs and how even some of these, like, I'm fully aware that you're going to have your big shows, your WrestleManias, Royal Rumbles, like where something huge is going to happen. I'm okay if some of the PLEs are sort of filler and just for a good time, but you got to make sure those are actually a good time. Even Saturday Night Main Event, they have to be fun. If they're not going to be like balls to the wall, like crazy, they've got to at least be fun shows.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch a John Cena who's got less than 10 dates left on his retirement tour getting demolished
by fucking Brock Lesnar.
And if we're gonna have a Drew and these guys are both incredible workers. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't let them cook, right? So, and I know that they're doing a job, and you know, I don't blame them for anything, but you just gotta have a fun night. And I feel like we missed the boat on, like, if you're not going to have a fun match, it's got to be a great match. Yeah. Because and that's what we got with Stephanie and Io. We got a great match. And then right after, we had a super fun match. And that's why those are the highlights of that event. Mm-hmm. And you have such a stacked roster, such talented people in the palm of your hands that there's no reason. There was that six-man tag team on Raw that Monday after with the New Day and Grayson Waller versus Penta and the War Raiders. I'm like, you couldn't have put them on the card,
right?
Like that would have, and you probably would have given them more time, which would have made it an even better match. So like that's the type of shit, especially with new viewers. You think a new viewer is not going to lose their mind seeing big ass Eric and Ivar doing the craziest shit possible,
doing flips and whatnot.
Now we did see Bronson Reed do a moonsault. That was pretty good. But like, I feel like we could have just done had a little more fun with it. But yeah, I mean, it's no shock. The women stole the show. Becky Lynch on socials after that weekend was so funny. She doing her Becky Trump thing where she was calling everything like a hoax and how it was rigged because she said she was swatting away a bee, not tapping out, or that Jessica Carr was a crooked ref because she's been a longtime CM Punk fan.
Another crooked ref.
Imagine so that shit is so funny. So I don't think the show was bad. I think it was very okay, but I do think it was definitely oversold on what it was going to be. So I'm hoping that we've got 2 matches announced for Crown Jewel Perth. We've got Cena and AJ Styles, which I have a theory on, which is going to go into one of our questions here in the next section here. And then we've got Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton. Both, no, I lied. We have 3 matches, and then Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. 2 of those matches are for the Crown Jewel Championships for the men and women.
Okay. I keep forgetting.
And I think those 3 matches so far were already on such a better track.
Yeah.
So I do want to say send my well wishes over to Jade Cargill, who took a nasty little bump yesterday.
Yeah, that was bad.
She and y'all can go look at her socials if you want. On Instagram, she posted a picture of her eyebrow. Oh my God.
I saw the damn thing live on my television screen yesterday.
Yeah. That was a nasty, and it put all the women in such an and I don't blame anyone. I mean, listen, these things happen. Like, yeah, it's the nature of the game. I don't like all the videos that are like looking for people like they're looking for someone to blame in this. So like, whose fault is this? Is this the ref's fault? Is this Nia's fault? Is this Tiffany's fault? Is this Jade's fault? It's like, there's no fault to be had here. Everyone was put in a situation in which they had to figure out something. And even if someone had forgotten, whether it was someone forgot to kick out or someone forgot to count to 3, like whatever, like so much is happening. If they happen to forget where they were because something else completely out of left field that wasn't supposed to happened, do we really have the right, or do we have the ground to like blame them for that? Like,
I knew as soon as it happened, I'm like, oh man, people online are going to be so mean about this.
Yeah. So
because, yeah, they're not allowed to like mess up in such a way, like online. Even though if any of us were in that same situation, we would be fucking scrambling. That's like, it seems so stressful to be any person, to have your eye cut open, bleeding into not your eye, but your eyebrow cut open and like obstructing your vision, and then having to continue to wrestle, being the person who's like, I need to figure out how I'm going to end this match, being the person who's like, I have to figure out how they're going to end this match and act appropriately. Like, so
Daphne LaShawn, the referee in this match, she had the refs all have their earpieces, so they're constantly being in communications with the people in the back. If you watch Unreal, you learn this stuff.
Imagine trying to listen to that and listen to this and the crowd's going, and you're also acting, you're performing the whole time.
Yeah,
that's stressful.
It's super stressful. So yeah, I don't think it's fair to like look for someone to blame, look for anything. It's just, it's just how it goes sometimes, But anyway, deviated from Wrestlepalooza just a little bit, but yeah, I just hope that as we continue, especially with Crown Jewel going into Survivor Series, like we have a real opportunity to bounce back. Mm-hmm. I I think people will stay for your stories, but you especially the people who have not been watching the last few years, you gotta bring them in with great matches, and sometimes that means it's a excellent display of talent or just a really, really fun match. But we got to do something. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of our thoughts on Wrestlepalooza. It was very okay. I don't think anything was outright bad for the most part, but I can understand people's frustrations with it. So let us know what you thought of Wrestlepalooza, maybe what you're hoping to see out of Crown Jewel and Survivor Series War Games.